Hey, welcome back to Golf WRX's Winning What's in the Bag, where this week we are taking a look at Sepp Straka's bag from the 2025 Truist Championship. A great win for him. Came out, played well in the final round. I know I think a lot of people expected Shane Lowry to kind of walk away with this one, but Sepp played really well and pulled out the win for this championship. So I know he's got a couple wins here on the PGA Tour now. But with his bag, he is kind of a Srixon player, so he's got ball irons, but he does have some different woods in the bag. So we'll start from the top, as we always do, and he is playing the Callaway Paradym AI Smoke Triple Diamond Max. So yes, this is the AI Smoke from last year. Multi-material, has kind of a 360, carbon chassis on it. Titanium face, and then a little bit of weight in the back. Now, this is the Triple Diamond Max version. This one was on tour very quickly. We got it at retail late, and it is actually kind of sits in between the retail AI Smoke Max and the Triple Diamond. So kind of took a little bit from both. It has more forgiveness than the Triple Diamond, but it has lower spin than the Paradym AI Smoke Max. Kind of sits in the middle there. Was a really popular head at retail when it finally did come out later in the year. But a very good one there. The other thing, too, with this one, it does have a little bit more of a neutral bias compared to Triple Diamond. Triple Diamond was a kind of like more fade bias driver, slightly smaller in terms of CCs. The Max goes to 460 CCs and is a little more just straight neutral ball flight. But the hosel on this one is set to NS, which is the neutral position and the stated loft. So playing at 9 degrees there. This one is shafted up with a Fujikura Ventus VeloCore Blue, or Ventus Blue VeloCore Plus 6X. I know we've been kind of saying VeloCore Plus because the newer 2024 models have VeloCore Plus. Those are the updated version of the Ventus. This is the brand new one, the lighter blue color. The VeloCore Plus is a new kind of multi-material bias core, where the old one, I think, was single material. This one's multi-material, offers a little bit more stability while maintaining or adding maybe a little ball speed. So it's mid-launch, low spin, has kind of a softer handle section, and then has a really stiff tip section on it for control. So it's mid-launch, low spin, comes at 66 grams and 3.1 degrees of torque for the 6X. Number 3 wood, he is playing a Callaway Paradym AI Smoke Triple Diamond. This is the 3 wood, which is 15 degrees. Again, adjustable hosel on this one. If you look really closely at the sole, there's a 14.7 that was written in Sharpie at one point. Looks like it's starting to wear off. So this head could be a 14.7 degree head. But this one here is actually set on the hosel to D/S, which means draw/stated. So stated loft, which is 15 or 14.7, but the draw portion means it's a little bit more upright on the lie angle. And typically more upright clubs are easier to turn over, easier to hit draws, so that's why Callaway marks it as a D. Now this is the smaller, lower spinning head in the 3 wood lineup. Has that kind of all steel sole on it, doesn't have the carbon plates or carbon chassis around it like some of the standard Paradym models there. Again, a little bit lower ball flight, flatter launch, lower spin, a little bit more neutral ball flight on this one. It is shafted up with a Mitsubishi Tensei 1K Pro Red in 70TX. Now, we don't see a ton of the red. We see a lot of white, a lot of orange, a little bit of blue, but red is the mid-high launch, mid-spin version. Now, the TX version could launch and spin just a little bit less. Tensei and the TX model has been known to play just slightly different than the standard X or stiff models there. But this is, the highest launching in the Tensei 1K Pro line that they have there. It's got a firmer handle, kind of and then like a medium stiffness in the midsection and the tip, and that like softer, more active tip helps get that ball up in the air. I think it's the sleeper of the Tensei line. Personally, offers a really good ball flight while still being really accurate and really consistent. This one comes in at 74 grams and 3 degrees of torque. He next moves to a 7 wood, and I bet you're shocked, but the 7 wood is going to match the 3 wood. It is the Callaway Paradym AI Smoke Triple Diamond. This is the 7 wood, which is 20 degrees. Looked all around, didn't see any Sharpie on the bottom of this one, so don't know exactly what the actual loft is, but it's probably around 20 degrees. Now, this is a bonded hosel, so no adjustable there. There's no, a tip to kind of adjust and make more upright or change the loft or anything like that, so it's just 20 degrees. Now, on the tour trucks, they can bend them, so it could be something different for him. But yes, again, a little bit more compact, smaller, but still a triple diamond, so looks very square, if not slightly open at address, and a little bit flatter launch than some of the other retail Paradym AI Smoke models that were out there. This one is shafted up with a Mitsubishi Tensei 1K Pro Orange in 80 TX, so the 80 gram range. On paper, the orange is actually the lowest launching and spitting. If you look at Mitsubishi's chart, it is also counterbalanced, meaning the handle section weighs a little bit more than the tip section. And for builds with counterbalanced shafts, you're doing that to either play the club a little bit longer to keep the swing weight right, or you want to add more mass to the head to have better energy transfer. One of those two reasons is typically why you build with a counterbalanced shaft, or the third one, you just want the head to feel lighter. So those three things are kind of why you have a counterbalanced shaft, but it means the handle section is a little bit heavier than the tip, so it balances out a little more in favor of the handle section. Now this one here, it kind of has a medium kind of handle stiffness, a much firmer midsection, and then a fairly firm tip on it. It comes in at 88 grams and 2.4 degrees of torque. Now moving to his irons, he's playing a little bit of a combo set. The 4 and 5 iron in his set are the brand new Srixon ZXI 5s. So these are the multi-piece forged irons. They're a little bit bigger, slightly thicker top line, but a very similar shape to the ZXI 7s, which we're going to talk about in a minute. They still don't have a ton of offset. They're really good looking kind of player's distance irons. The face there has what they call rebound frame, which is a milled channel inside of it. Helps increase ball speed and become more consistent and stretch out that sweet spot a little bit more. And that is the big thing with why you would play the ZXI 5 in these longer irons. A little added speed probably helps with the gapping. They also do launch fairly high. But just like the other irons, they do have the Tour V sole for great turf interaction, less digging, all that. Now, he does have a 3 iron that kind of goes in and out. We have photos of the 3 iron, but it doesn't seem like it was in play this week. He went with the 4 and 5 iron. And the shafts on these are True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100s. So again, lower launch, lower spin, kind of the standard when it comes to iron shafts out there on tour, it seems. Now for his 6 through 9 iron, he's going to play the Srixon ZXI 7s. So these are the single piece forged, more kind of cavity back for the lower handicap, better players. They are all over on tour. They are slightly longer blade lengths, so a little bit more stable. I think they launch a little bit higher compared to some other CBs out there. Fantastic, really soft feel to it. Much like the ZXI 5s, you have a Tour V sole on there, which again reduces digging, gets you the turf really quickly. But these blades, feel great. They have a little bit of forgiveness, which I know you don't think about on tour, but these guys do, miss hit it slightly. So these things are still pretty stable on miss hits, and they're easy to launch and get to come into the green really high and land soft. Now, these are shafted up as well with True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100s. These, again, 130 grams, lower launching, lower spinning. Now, he does play all of his irons, the 4 through 9 iron, a 1/4 inch over standard length, and 1 degree upright with a D4 swing weight. So the ZXI 5s and the ZXI 7s both play to those specs. Now moving to wedges, and wedges, he's playing the brand new Cleveland new RTZ wedges. So these have the new Z alloy in them, which is supposed to be denser, better feeling, and it's just, they are. I've hit them before, and they definitely have a softer feel than the RTX stuff. The first one he's playing is the pitching wedge replacement, which is the 4610 midsole. So this is the 46 degree. The midsole is a pretty standard sole. It's got a little bit of relief on the back, but it's pretty full, great for full shots with a wedge playing square to the target. Now the next wedge would be his gap wedge. This is going to be the 5210 midsole. So again, 52, not 100% sure if it is actually playing 52, if it's bent in any way. No markings on there to tell. But again, RTZ, Z alloy, the grooves on it spin exceptionally well off the fairway lies, off rough lies. But the midsole, again, really versatile, great for all around full shots. And a 52, you're probably going to hit a decent amount of full shots with that club. Again, 10 degrees of bounce should be pretty sufficient and pretty average for a gap wedge. He then moves on to his sand wedge. It is a 5612, and this is the full sole design. So this is kind of a very stable sole, gets you the turf well, great float in the bunkers when you open the face, but 12 degrees, a little bit more bounce, and it gets through the rough and thicker lies with no problem. You can kind of throw it into the turf if you're a little bit steeper, not have to worry about a deep divot there. Now, when you open the face, the leading edge can come off the ground a little bit, but for players like Sepp, they've got enough skill where that's not too big of a deal. Then we move on to his lob wedge, and his lob wedge is a 60-12 full sole as well. So this one here, again, a little bit wider, a little bit fuller sole, great out of the bunker. Now you're on the hardest, firmest tightest conditions, if you open the face up, you're going to see that leading edge come up. But playing it square, it's going to be really good. Get through the turf, you're going to be able to kind of glide it across the turf as well for certain shots. But for those guys, they can still pull a lot of versatility out of it, where you or I may have a little bit problem hitting those like wide open flop shots off the tightest fairways like these guys play. But still, an overall really great gap wedge there, spins a ton. I like kind of the slightly compactor look of these wedges, and the longer hosel just looks really classic and very Cleveland to me from my eye. Now, all 4 of these are shafted up with True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400 shafts. Again, I bet you're shocked that we're talking about this shaft, but slightly softer than the X100. A little bit heavier at 132 grams. We'll still offer kind of a mid-flight, more penetrating while having spin on it, but it offers a little bit of feel for those partial shots on all 4 of those wedges. Now, all 4 of these do match his irons in terms of spec. He's playing them a 1/4 inch long or a 1/4 inch over standard, 1 degree upright, and these come in with a D5 swing weight, so just slightly heavier than the irons. Now, I move to putter, and he is using actually an older Odyssey Tuttle, the Stroke Lab version. So the Stroke Labs back then, they were the black, had a lot of yellow accents to them, if you remember. Now, his has a white hot insert, the very popular white hot insert that we see everywhere, instead of the micro hinge star. So there used to be a micro hinge star that had little plastic, black plastic kind of knobs in there that would kind of help forward roll. I want to believe it was just a little bit firmer than, say, standard micro hinge. But it had little kind of the black dots in there to kind of help that forward roll and improve feel. But he's got the white hot insert installed instead. Now, this is a double bend shaft, should be pretty much close to face balanced when you hold it. And it's got the Stroke Lab shaft on it. So this was the retail version was counterbalanced, had a little a plug up at the top. This is the black with the silver tip. And it even has like a little kind of carbon fiber weave you can see up near the handle section. But this is the original Stroke Lab one that they brought out first, and then they switched over. And I think there was a green one and then a red one and whatever. But this one here at retail was counterbalanced. Not sure if his is. I know that I had a retail one like this, and I pulled the counterbalance weight out, so that's definitely possible. But it was at retail. The grip on here is a SuperStroke Zenergy 1.0 PT. So this is not a super popular grip from SuperStroke in terms of retail. You don't see many of them. It's kind of like a pistol style grip, but a little bit bigger, kind of like a mid-size pistol grip. But it's got a pretty fairly pronounced arc on the back side under the top hand. And it is something we do see on tour a little bit more often, but it isn't quite caught on, I don't think, at retail as much. And that's white and black. Now, grips for the rest of his clubs are all Tour Velvet, Golf Pride Tour Velvet midsize. Not sure if he's got any extra wraps or anything like that, but the Tour Velvet, I think we talked about last week, a traditional classic grip from Golf Pride, kind of a brushed rubber on the top, kind of like a houndstooth type pattern that runs through it. Really great combination of traction, wet weather control, just all around really solid grip. And then for ball, Sepp is playing the Srixon Z-Star XV. So there's 3 balls in the Z-Star lineup. This is the one that's going to have kind of the firmest feel. It's going to fly higher and spin a little bit less compared to the standard Z-Star out there. So really good performing ball for someone who's looking for a little bit more height and maybe not looking to add any more spin to their game. So that is Sepp Straka's winning what's in the bag from the 2025 Truist Championship. Congratulations to him on a big win. I think the payout was huge. I think it was like $3.5 million. So great win for him. That's kind of life-changing money, even for guys on tour who make a lot of money. But congrats to him. So check back next week. We will go through the next winner's what's in the bag.